Hey guys, welcome to the Investor's Guide of Memphis Real Estate. I'm your host, Dean Harris, and as always, I'm with Douglas Skipworth. How you, buddy?
Hey man, doing great.
We're bringing you the guys this podcast to give you the boots on the ground knowledge to be a successful real estate investor here in Memphis, Tennessee. Please like and subscribe to the Investor's Guide of Memphis Real Estate on your YouTube channel, Spotify, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, wherever you catch your podcast. Show sponsors are listed on your screen below. We would not be able to do this show without them, run our rental business without those guys. We've got Triumph Construction, River City Title, Corlin Financial, CrestCore Property Management, and Will Griffin with Griffin, Clift, Everton, and Mashmeyer. I help buyers and sellers every day, guys. If you have anything you need to buy or sell here, you want to get on our buyers list with my team, Dean at CrestCore.com. I'll be happy to send you QR code, a link. We've got all kinds of different ways that you can sign up and start receiving houses from us. So today, we're going to dive right into what are savvy investors doing to end their year? What are experienced, savvy, whatever you want to call that person, what are investors doing to end their year?
Kind of year-end cleanup, close out.
A little bit. It's going to begin here in the next, we've got about 6 weeks left in our year. So we're going to begin to get into, cleanup. What are you doing? How are you handling your business? Are you getting a big broom out, or are you getting a big blower out? What are you doing? You need a lot of work. So let's go through the first thing I do usually around this time, end of October towards where we're at now, beginning of November, I talk to my CPA. And the reason why I personally do that, some of you guys might have the same, be in the same kind of category, is with my personal income that I get from selling real estate, which is where I get mine. I try to offset that as much as I can with real estate rental purchases. So I go to my CPA and I say, hey, this is what income is going to look like this year. Cause I have a general idea this time of year. Most people do. This is what it's going to look like. And then this is what I've bought so far. What do I need to do? Do I need to go in a mad rush and get as many as I can for the end of the year? Am I okay? And I don't necessarily respond to that, tit for tat. Like I don't, hey, Dean, you need to go, buy another $3 million worth of real estate this year to offset. And I don't necessarily just go rush out and do that. Right. I just understand where I need to be if I want to use the tax laws and save as much money as I can on my income taxes.
Yeah, so that's great. I mean,
that's my first thing I do.
I'm the same with you. It's like it's a high priority towards the end of the year, usually in November. Schedule an appointment with the CPA and kind of talk about where things are and kind of plan for the year. I mean, I think part of it is kind of what you're saying here is like, and I think this episode is you pause and you stop and you think. You don't it's not just business as usual. You need to pause for a second, pump the brake and go, hey, year-end's coming. Is there anything I need to do differently? And so that's what this episode is.
Yeah. And just to make sure, you might have 80%, you might be doing 80% of what we're going to talk about today, but I think it's healthy just to get maybe the 20% you can pick up that you're not.
Right on.
So from talking to the CPA, I either get busy or I prepare myself for the first quarter. So as I'm getting that feedback from the CPA, do you need to buy? Okay, let's say in this instance I do. I hunker down and try to get the best product that I can at the best price, obviously in the next 2 to 3 weeks in order time to close by the end of the year. If I'm okay, if I don't really need to buckle down and start purchasing, I'll begin to look at what the first quarter is going to look like. Do I want to immediately start buying? Where's my portfolio at? That's kind of can I accept another 4, 5, 6 houses in the first quarter, or the first half of the year? Maybe not. Or, hey, I feel healthy. I feel CapEx works. I don't see any in the future or in the immediate future. There's some wiggle room here where I might have a little runway to add to the portfolio.
Yeah, same. I think what we're just talking about is finishing strong. And it's a 60-day. When I'm like November at Halloween, post Halloween, it's like a 60-day sprint to the end of the year because most people are like, Thanksgiving's coming up. We got Christmas, New Year's. We got a lot of holidays in there, and so like you and I talk about this a lot. It's a holiday season. But it's also separation season. What are the things you're doing for your business to get ahead?
That's right.
And that might be finished strong, and it might be cleaning up and doing things, getting your lines of credit clean or cleared or financing some stuff or thinking about your plan for 2025 or next year. Like, what are you going to do? How are you going to hit the ground running? You're like that sprinter waiting for the baton to get passed from year to year? Are you standing there waiting, or are you kind of going to run through that transition zone?
I'm going to be
sprinting. I'm going to sprint as fast as I can.
I am too.
Both legs of the race.
I am too, because, we just got through election. I'm ready to begin to focus back in on the real estate side of things and see what's around this corner. I've had the conversation with my CPA. I've had it this year. So I'm not in a mad rush to the end of the year. I could pick up another one or two, and I'm probably going to do that. But I can do that kind of within my system of acquiring properties, right? With receiving the houses that I'm finding, kind of like you guys do. So I'm going to be center focused on Q1.
Yes.
And what does that look like? That might be a podcast to end the year. Is what does Q1 look like? But probably a lot of the same. I don't think we're going to see much adjustment, but we can, we'll go through that. But so third thing I look at after I talk to the CPA, I plan out my last 6 weeks, or I plan out that Q1. I start looking to pay off anything. Yeah. And what I mean by that is, if I need to spend some money, let's spend it. You're looking for all the write-offs that you can get. And I focus on, do I owe anybody any money?
Yes.
Are there any taxes? Are there any insurance? The answers to those are always no, because we just pay on time. But are there any outstanding? Review those things. Do you owe your maintenance guys anything? Do you have some rehabs that you're getting ready to start? You're going to write a check for $20,000 on January 5th. Write it December 31st. Anything that you've got coming up for the first part of the month, first 3 weeks, really, in January, if you're going to spend it, try to spend it at the end of, December. I do. With anything that I look at, with any kind of maintenance, with any kind of rehab, with anything that I can do on any houses, if it's within reason, I try to go ahead and do those things now, just for the tax write-off benefits.
100% same. So it's like, any deferred maintenance, like you said, that you can. So I guess there are two options here. There's one, it's like if you're having some kind of killer year and you want to get ahead and you're looking to defer, decrease some taxes through some projects. Yeah. And we've had a conversation about somebody who had a windfall year, and so they put on roofs, they put on HVAC, they did sewer lines, whatever they needed to spend that money.
Yeah.
But so if you're in that position, man, awesome, congratulations.
Yeah.
And then do those projects. But I think also what you're talking about is just being smart with the timing, because in Shelby County, taxes are due. If you're not escrowed and you pay them outside of your mortgage, they're due in February.
Yep.
By the end of it. So it's like, hey, why not pay them at the end of December and get all of them written off in this year instead of waiting, like you said, 30, 60 days.
That's right.
And you're going to have to write it anyway. So what's the difference? If you can manage the cash flow, and why not? So those are, I think that's as good as anything, is like managing your expenses through your your taxes through your expenses at the end of the year is what savvy investors do.
That's right. That's
it's
exactly
what savvy business people do. It's what savvy, that is wise. That's worth everything from this episode. Like,
that's right.
Take that and do that.
So today we're talking about investors that end the year, how they end the year, how savvy investors work through their rental portfolio to end the year. They talk to their CPAs. They get an idea of what they need to buy or need to hold off, get ready for Q1, and then pay off any maintenance, rehabs, or anything that you've got going so you can use those write-offs. One of the last things that I do, or one of the things to end kind of that year-end roundup, is talk to my bank. I want to find out going into Q1 what my two main bankers, what their appetite is. They're having year-end meetings with their bank and their boards, and they're planning out 2025.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Let's go ahead and talk to them and figure out. One of the questions, and we can highlight this, Alec, is what is the question you ask your bank is, what is your capacity for my product? Not bank capacity for rentals or bank capacity for investment deals. What is your bank capacity for my product? Single family, long-term, buy and hold rentals. You need to know that. You need to find out if your 2025 is going to include that bank or not. They might come back at you and say, hey, we're going to be really snug in 2025, right? It's going to be really difficult for us to do this. That heads up. The last thing you want to do is not have that conversation. Get into January and February, go to your banker, and they're like, oh, no, Dean, I'm sorry, we're not doing anything. you've got to go find a new banker. Now you're 30, 40 days maybe behind where you should be when you're purchasing. Talk to your bankers and ask that question about capacity. What can you take on from me in 2025?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great because they are planning and they know. And it's your capacity with you. I mean, they might have a ceiling that they want to do with you personally, whether it's because of their limitations internally or because of your limitations as far as what they want to do and their comfort level. So having a clear picture of that, like I say, getting lines of credit paid off, getting everything, getting lines, officer guidance lines approved so that you're ready. Awesome. I mean, hey, one thing I did want to say, in the expense planning for the end of the year, like as far as everything we talked about paying was something that you're gonna invest. It's an investment for the future. Yeah. Roofs, taxes, things to do. Like, we're not saying go spend money to spend money.
No. I know.
Just wanted to make that clear.
Saying that if you've got to do it, and you're going to do it in the first 3 weeks of January or basically the first month, then do it at the end of December.
We are not saying go waste money.
No, God, no. I'm just talking about if you've got to do it, do it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm not doing anything unnecessary here. And
thank you. Just wanted to clarify.
But absolutely, if you're going to do it, go ahead and do it. Definitely preface that. Okay, this has been a great. I knew this was going to be kind of quick, but I wanted to get to the point on what we were doing at the end of the year. Anything else to add?
I mean, I think you're just thinking as you are planning. I think, and maybe this is a plug. I mean, you want to talk to your agent, and you want to talk and see what their capacity is, and kind of where the market's going. And hey, now we're post-election, we're moving to a new year. We're looking for another rate cut. Interest rates, they don't quite go with the Fed correlated because it's a 10-year Treasury that the mortgage rates are off of. So they've gone up a little bit, but they're going to come down again. And so just planning for that with your agent, with your buyer, with the people that are helping you buy.
Yeah, I'll take calls. We'll set up calls with a group of you or individually. Dean at CrestCore.com. I'll be happy to answer any questions about, planning for the future, planning in the first quarter. Get you on that buyer link, but we need you to fill out that buyer profile link. This will allow you to receive properties directly from me based on your criteria. You're going to fill out, answer a few questions, and we're only going to send you those properties. So shoot me an email, Dean at CrestCore.com. I'll be happy to have that conversation with you going into Q1 of 25.
Yeah, do that. Do that. Why wouldn't you?
No, I don't.
Why wouldn't you?
That's the thing. It's free.
It's free. That's what I always. I mean, you know me. I'm always telling people, like, if they reach out, I'm like, talk to Dean.
Yeah,
he works for you.
Yeah, that is the truth.
The only way he gets paid is if you get a deal. Otherwise, it's just free.
We laugh about this because I don't sell anything on this podcast. It's free. There's no real anything we sell on here. I literally just try to provide information and guidance on how to invest here in the city. So happy to have that one-on-one conversation with you, Dean at CrestCore.com. Anything else?
Love it.